Your bank account is empty, prices skyrocket, jobs vanish. Now imagine your entire state facing this. Some states are closer to collapse than you think. Which ones? Let's find out. Number 6, Louisiana. Picture waking up and finding your street underwater. Not a flood from a one-time storm, but a slow, steady sinking that never seems to stop. For many in Louisiana, this is no nightmare. It's reality. This state is losing ground faster than its economy can keep up. Louisiana faces a hidden emergency few talk about. More than 10% of homeowners owe more on their houses than the houses are actually worth. That means people are stuck. They can't sell their homes, can't move, and often can't afford to stay. Between 2020 and 2023, tens of thousands of people left Louisiana. Why? Jobs disappeared, roads and bridges fell apart, and hurricanes kept coming. The oil and gas industries, once the backbone of Louisiana's economy, have cut thousands of jobs in recent years. Communities that depended on those industries are now hanging by a thread. But it's not just about natural disasters or lost jobs. Louisiana's government is running low on emergency funds. If a major economic crisis hits, there's almost no money left to help people recover. Hospitals are short-staffed, schools close, grocery stores disappear, replaced by food deserts where fresh food is hard to find. In some places, you might have to drive 80 miles just to get medical care. While other states are slowly healing after the pandemic, Louisiana struggles to keep up, trapped in a cycle of loss and rebuilding that never really ends. If a big economic crash happens, Louisiana won't just slow down, it will break apart. Number 5, Illinois. Illinois is a big state with big problems. Imagine working harder only to watch your paycheck buy less and less, while your taxes go up and up. Roads get worse, schools shut down, cities grow quiet. This is the reality in Illinois. By 2025, Illinois owed more than $140 billion just to cover its pension promises to retired workers, a huge debt no one knows how to pay off. Credit experts rate Illinois near the bottom of all U.S. states for economic health, and people are leaving. Since 2014, Illinois has lost hundreds of thousands of residents, with over 100,000 people moving out between 2020 and 2023 alone. That means fewer workers, fewer taxpayers, and fewer people to help grow the economy. Business growth is slow. Companies are moving to other states. Young people don't stay. They leave to find better chances elsewhere. But the cost of living doesn't get any cheaper. Property taxes stay high, making it even harder to stay afloat. Chicago, once a bustling heart of the Midwest, faces rising crime, crumbling roads, and a transit system that's barely holding on. Outside the city, small towns are shrinking, and farmland is being sold off. If the whole country faces a major financial disaster, Illinois won't just stumble, it could fall hard. There's no safety net left, no new growth to catch the fall. Just a mountain of bills and fewer people to pay them. If you're enjoying this and want to support the channel, hit that super thanks button. It helps more than you know. Alright, let's move on to the next country. Number 4, Mississippi. In Mississippi, a child might wake up without a doctor nearby. A mother might drive hours just to find milk for her baby. A father might lose his third job this year and wonder if it's worth staying. Power outages happen more than you think, and sometimes the lights don't come back on for a long time. This is life for many in Mississippi, a state quietly falling apart. Poverty here is among the highest in the U.S., with nearly 1 in 5 people living below the poverty line. Job opportunities are weak, even with government help trying to turn things around. Factories have closed. Farms have fewer workers. Many people have simply stopped looking for work because there aren't enough jobs. Healthcare is failing. The state ranks last in health outcomes. More than a dozen rural hospitals have closed or are about to shut down. In some places, emergency rooms are gone, and maternity wards have shut their doors. Imagine needing medical help and having nowhere close to turn. Schools aren't doing any better. Mississippi often ranks near the bottom in education. There are not enough teachers, many school buildings are falling apart, and students don't get the support they need. When schools close, communities shrink too. Bridges and roads are in bad shape. Over 10% of Mississippi's bridges are unsafe. Water systems are breaking down, leaving some places without clean drinking water. Jackson, the capital, has had several water crises in the last few years alone. Mississippi also faces constant natural disasters, tornadoes, floods, hurricanes. These happen every year, and recovery takes years or may never fully happen. When a big economic collapse strikes, Mississippi won't be able to rely on emergency aid for long. There's just not enough money or people left to rebuild. Number 3. Kentucky. Imagine driving through small towns where factory gates are locked and grocery stores are closed. Schoolyards grow wild and quiet with no kids cheering. This isn't just one unlucky town. This is happening across Kentucky. Kentucky is famous for bourbon and horse racing, but its economy is struggling under the surface. The state recently received a very low grade for economic health. If a big economic crash happens, Kentucky could be one of the first to suffer badly. The problem isn't just low wages, it's that the economy isn't growing. Jobs aren't being created fast enough to keep up with inflation or population needs. Many rural counties still depend on coal mining, which has lost thousands of jobs over the past decade. Young people are moving away to find work, and some counties lost over 6% of their population between 2020 and 2023. Infrastructure is also in bad shape. Nearly a third of Kentucky's roads are in poor or fair condition. Over 1,100 bridges are unsafe. This isn't just inconvenient, it can cut communities off completely. Healthcare is shrinking too. Over half of Kentucky's counties don't have enough doctors, especially in the eastern parts of the state. Hospitals have closed, and mental health care is almost impossible to find in many areas. Education struggles continue. Many schools face funding shortages, teacher shortages, and growing achievement gaps. In some counties, almost 20% of adults don't have a high school diploma, and college attendance is low. Kentucky's government doesn't have much money saved to handle a crisis. Welfare and emergency programs are already stretched thin. If the economy collapses, Kentucky's safety nets could break, leaving many without help. Liking the breakdown so far? You can show some love by tapping the Super Thanks button. It's a small gesture that makes a big difference. Now let's check out the next country. Number 2, Connecticut. Imagine driving through wealthy neighborhoods with expensive cars and perfect lawns. Then just a few miles away, see empty shops and closed schools. That's Connecticut, a state that looks strong but hides big problems. Connecticut seems like a place that should be safe. It has rich suburbs, famous universities, and a beautiful coastline. But underneath, the state is slowly losing people. Over the past decade, especially from 2020 to 2024, tens of thousands left for cheaper states with more jobs. Connecticut now has one of the oldest populations in America, meaning fewer workers and more people needing expensive health care and pensions. Taxes are very high here. Property taxes are among the worst in the country. And the state owes over $40 billion in unpaid pension debts. That's a huge burden slowing down everything. Even wealthy residents are leaving, taking their income and tax money with them. This creates a vicious cycle. Fewer workers means less tax money, which means cuts in schools and services, which makes more people leave. Schools in smaller towns close or merge. Businesses shut down early or don't open at all. Neighborhoods become quiet and empty. Even though Connecticut's highways and trains look modern, they are aging fast. Over 7% of bridges are unsafe and repairs are very expensive. Without new money, the state's infrastructure could collapse. If a big economic crash happens, Connecticut faces big problems: fewer workers, higher costs, and shrinking budgets. It looks fine on the outside, but inside the cracks are growing. Number 1, New York. New York City has a famous skyline, Wall Street, Broadway, the heart of American power. But just a short distance away, you'll find empty shops, people moving out, and costs rising faster than paychecks. New York may seem untouchable, but it's closer to breaking than you think. New York State owes more than $160 billion in debt, second highest in the country. Much of its tax income goes to paying pensions, interest on debt, and social programs. There's almost no extra money left to deal with a crisis. Since 2020, New York has lost nearly 500,000 people, many of them middle and upper class earners who pay the most taxes. When these people leave, the financial burden shifts to those who remain. Upstate cities like Buffalo, Syracuse, and Rochester once thrived on industry, but now face shrinking populations, underfunded schools, and abandoned homes. New York City itself is struggling. Office buildings are empty after the pandemic, with over 20% of Midtown Manhattan's offices unused. That means billions less in tax revenue. The cost of living is the highest in the nation, making it hard for many to stay. Homelessness is rising. Public transit is old and overused. Small businesses are still recovering from the last economic shock. About 1 in 3 restaurants never reopened. If Wall Street loses money, if tourists stop coming, if jobs disappear, New York doesn't just slow down, it bleeds. This city of dreams could quickly turn into a city of struggle. If you enjoy this and want to support the channel, hit that super thanks button. It helps more than you know. You've seen how 6 states are quietly falling apart under debt, job loss, and population decline. If your state was on the list, watch closely. Subscribe for updates and share this video to help others. If this helped you, consider using super thanks to support the channel. The next economic crisis might already be here.